So Ken, if you would talk about your relationship to Otis, how you came to Otis, what your experiences were there, both as first as a student and then as a teacher.
I don't remember where I first heard of Otis, whether it was when I was in Atlanta, but I realized I wasn't going anywhere. I had to go to college, and so I decided to go paint a mural for that, and didn't have to go to class. I just worked on the mural, and I painted Steve McQueen. And it just hit. I don't know what it was. People were calling me from all over the world, interviewing me. I thought I was the next Andy Warhol. And then I found out, somebody told me that it was on the bulletin board at Otis. Somebody had cut it out of the LA Times and put it on the bulletin board at Otis, and they had it over there. I thought, whoa, that was worth it. Getting to think that somebody at Otis thought it was okay to do that. And then I was painting the freeway egg in 1974, and everybody could see me because it was right over the Hollywood freeway. And Judith Hernandez came by. I hadn't seen her for a couple of years. She had just graduated from Otis, got her MFA. She had gone right to Otis from East LA College. And she came up and climbed up on the top of the scaffolding with me while I was sitting there painting. And she was just raving about Otis. It was the best experience she'd ever had. She loved it. And started telling me about the people. Joseph Mugnani was there. I had read everything Ray Bradbury had ever written, and all Joe Mugnani's illustrations. I mean, all these legends walking around campus like real regular people. And so she taught me into it. And I went over and got into Otis, and that was the beginning. I met Charles White, the great, I mean, he was like Rembrandt, walking around like a normal person. I had discipline, I had self-discipline, but I needed to be around people that intimidated me more than I intimidated myself, that I wanted to please more than I wanted to please myself, which was what happened when I get around that level of artists, and I got myself then to the next level.
You're doing a mural of Charlie White now, right? Or are you thinking about doing a mural on the building at MacArthur Park, which used to be the Otis building and is now the Charles White School, right?
Yes, serendipitously, yes. When Charlie and I, he was my mentor. I stayed with him my whole 2 years as my mentor at Otis, and he suggested that I paint something on the west wall of the main campus building, classroom building, which I did, which is still there. I quickly talked to Betty Saar, who was teaching at Otis, and she posed for me. Emerson Wolfer, whom Edgar Richet loves, because he had him as an instructor at Chenard. Mm-hmm. And he was the head of the painting department at Otis. I photographed him and up on the roof again, and did a giant drawing of him. I did DJ Hall, people that I loved, and I had already photographed Ed Richet, so I did a giant one of Ed Richet. And Charlie was just one of those people. Whenever we would go on field trips or anything, he would always come with me. He would always ride with me. He was like a father figure to me. I respected him so much, and I loved him so much. And I think probably I owe more to him than to any other single person for getting to that next level of being serious about myself as an artist. That was just because Otis always had that concept of having real working artists as the art instructor.
As the teacher.
Because you learn more about that side almost as you do about the technique of drawing and painting. Right.
So let's talk about the Olympics. You did the Olympics one time when the Olympics were here in LA, and you were well known for that group of portraits. And then here we are X years later, and it's the Special Olympics. And it's sort of interesting because the original Olympics that you worked with, you're depicting athletes in their prime. You know, you're at the height of their abilities, at the height of their physical prowess. And then now it's the Special Olympics, and it's a different notion of athletics and a different notion of skills and all that sort of thing.
Almost every single one of these Special Olympians had that. They have that character, and they have this handicap that forces them to have to try even harder than things that we take for granted, and that is worth so much more. And I think Rayford Johnson realized that. He's a very, very sensitive man. And I think in many ways, when I told them, when I was talking there yesterday over at the Coliseum when they kicked it off, that I'm more proud to be involved, humbly proud to be involved in this event than I even was in the Rio Olympics.
Great. Well, thank you, Ken, so much. It's always a great pleasure to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.